Hey y'all, welcome back to For the Fans, where tonight we are so excited to be back. It has been a few weeks. We had some scheduling conflicts. We had an American holiday. And so we're glad to be back with everybody. And there has been a lot of good Survivor happening. And I'm
Yep.
excited to talk about it. So tonight we've got Kevin, Sheldon, and special guest Karen.
Hi, Karen.
Hey, Karen. Karen, don't be alarmed when I'm yelling at Kylie and Sheldon. That's what happens here. I'll never yell at you.
And special guest Rip.
Hi,
I mean,
Ray.
I am a loyal fan, so I hear you guys yelling at each other every week. In the past 2 weeks, I've been like, where have they been?
Yes. So I'm excited. I thought we've had a couple of good episodes. We can talk a little bit about last week since we missed it, and a really
I just want to talk about something about last week. I'm just going to take this over. Why is Jesse a villain, but is not getting a villain edit? This guy is evil. He got an idol. He took another idol and is not giving it back. The guy, he got rid of Noelle after she gave him
Wait. I want to touch that real fast. Sheldon, I want to touch that real fast. Last week, when he runs through the heist plan, and he's like, tells Noelle, what are we talking about? He's like, oh, Cody just wanted his idol back. She's like, oh, you haven't given that back to him yet? Nah. But Cody, it's been days. It's been days, Cody.
Survivor 10 years ago, this guy would have had major evil villain edit. Give me the evil edit. Don't give me the fact that we're all humans and we got good sides. This guy is evil. Give me evil.
We can hit on that a little bit more because we get Sammy's inspiring story tonight, and I mean they had to reach into the bottom of the barrel. I've, told y'all in the last couple of weeks, I've really come around on Sammy and his game. I was kind of enjoying him, but not everybody has this, just inspiring story. And that's not to say that, it wasn't meaningful for Sammy, but, to inspire millions, it's just not going to happen. His story's just not there. He doesn't have Jesse's story. He doesn't have Noelle's story.
Are you arguing that because that Jesse really has this story, they're afraid to
yes, absolutely. They do not want to make, the former gangbanger turned PhD student a villain.
That guy.
But
that's not a terrible. I mean that could be part of it. Also, part of it means he could probably win, so they don't necessarily want to give him a villain edit. Another thing could be though is that the show is being edited differently, so maybe we just don't see villains anymore.
Maybe that sucks. We want some villains.
I was gonna say, what makes a villain though?
Good question. Doing duplicitous things, doing things that are usually doing shady stuff, and then reveling in it. Is what makes you a villain.
And he has been reveling in it, but it's been this humble revel. Yeah. It's weird. I don't get it.
It's all based on him trying to win the game, which is admirable. But he's not doing things to just do things. I mean, the ultimate villain on Survivor is Russell, and he was just doing things to do things, right? And he is the archetype for villain. Because even if you look at Tony is not he doesn't really get a villain edit either, though Tony is extremely chaotic. He doesn't get characterized as a villain per se, but he does villainous things. Also,
I think if we're going into the whole thing of it, Tony didn't have a dumbass girls alliance, so there's that line of villainous things in the game, and
beyond burning people's socks.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
Russell is the villain to the nth degree. There's no one more villainous than Russell Hantz. But even if you look at Coach, right? Coach had a villain edit in Tocantins a little bit. Mm-hmm. Tyson had a villain edit in Tocantins, but it's not the same. It's Jesse is a different kind of villain because his is all rooted in I'm doing this for my family. And that's I think it might be an editing choice because they seem to want to really focus on these backstories.
Yeah. Look, it's completely. It's a story thing. They've made a decision that they want to show, I believe, at least in my opinion, that every single human is both the devil and the angel. That every single person has both. And the truth is, that's true. We all have good stuff. We all have bad stuff. Sometimes you play a game like this and the good stuff comes out. Sometimes you play a game like this and the bad stuff comes out. What I don't necessarily like about this is that it's a little bit more fun with a villain. Like it really is more fun. Like I don't know. That isn't to say that like Carla was a little villainous tonight. Sammy was like we are getting these pops, but I can't just buy into I can't just say Carla's now a villain, even though the truth is I can make a really big argument that she is. I don't know.
What do you think?
Modern Survivor is a little different, and also I think they're getting a lot of inspiration from Australian reality shows in general, because I think the producers heard the fans like, oh, Australian Survivor is so awesome. But if you watch Australian Survivor and any other Australian reality shows, because I've been watching Australian MasterChef because I like MasterChef, but there's a lot of like sob backstories. Everybody has a sob story. And I think that the American producers are not understanding what people like about Australian Survivor. And they're thinking that it is the sob stories and that kind of editing, which I'm not sure that's what people really like.
Right. I mean, and I think that you can have somebody like Jesse who has this just dynamic story and show him as like, hey, like I was, in juvenile hall and, now I've got a family and a PhD and hey, but I am out here to do this for them. Like,
this is a legit story.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I've got like no holds barred when it comes to this game. I'm going to do what I have to do. Like you can give us both. Like you can have a rootable villain.
I guess the kudos I would give to them is that I don't actually feel like they are I feel like they spent the first half of season really pushing on the sadness. And I do feel like they've put their foot off the gas a bit, mostly because I think there's only so much sadness we could get from these people. And yes, I think they were pushing Sammy tonight, but I think it's almost like this weird formula of, they're about to leave or something big's about to happen to them. So we have to make the audience feel bad that they're leaving. Like I don't care. Like I would not have felt bad that Sammy's leaving. He's just another character. Like if Victor Newman dies on The Young and the Restless, I will survive. It's okay. Just another character on the show. They'll cast someone else.
Whoa.
Does how sad is Survivor? How sad is Jeff personally that Noelle got voted out? He's just another. He couldn't keep talking about her leg and her perseverance. He must be like he didn't know what to do this episode. Like he just Noelle needed to still be there so we could talk about at Noelle.
Well, they did they did a shot tonight of her sitting there in her leg.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I feel like
they did a close up, but no. She got.
Don't forget she has one leg. Don't forget, guys.
Oh, we have not forgotten because they have made it very clear the whole time. I feel they have I'm personally not a Noelle fan because I'm just not a fan of athletes in general because I don't relate to them at all because I am a couch potato. I want a cat on my lap during the day. Like, I do exercise.
I have seen you compete in endurance challenges, and you are an absolute beast. What do you mean you're not an athlete? What are you talking about?
I'm not an athlete, though. I do physical activity because I don't want my body to, like, rot into the couch. Like, I want to, maintain something, like a physique. I have standards for how I look, and
I don't. Okay.
Neither do I. Neither do I.
But I am not an athlete. So, like, the athlete mentality, like, who they love to cast on Survivor is just not somebody I would generally be friends with. That doesn't mean that we couldn't get along and be friends, but...
So sorry to interrupt. Did you like Sammy? Because, like, on the surface, Sammy is your athlete, high school football team bro guy. And I usually don't like those guys either. But I love Sammy.
All right, I generally hate young people too. So like young athletes are the worst. However, I will say that like Xander and Sammy, made me feel like okay, I could do this. But at the same time, like at the end of the day, Sammy is 19 years old.
Yeah, but okay, but so the reason why I think you're right, but I've always kind of looked up to Sammy in the sense of when I was 19, I did not like. I don't think I was that smart. I don't think I fundamentally was socially smart enough. Like I look up.
I think I was that smart.
Wow. If that's where he is at 19, what's he going to be like at 29? At 30?
He's going to be great. He's going to be great. So I think don't cast him at 19. Wait 10 years, cast him at 29, and we've got an amazing player there.
I disagree. I want him at 19. I want him at 29. Just like I want Michaela back because she was cast young and we saw all these different sides of her. And I can't wait for her to come back.
I love Sammy as a staple. I want to see Sammy more often.
Sammy's entertaining.
Very much.
Yeah, he was entertaining.
He's good at the game. He's
Yes.
good at the game, and he's good at putting on a show. Like the kid was good at performing.
One of my favorite parts. I'm completely jumping ahead, but one of my favorite parts tonight about Sammy is that he continuously in this game understood where his place is in the game. He understood where he is on the board, and that's my favorite thing. Like that's a very rare thing for any Survivor player. Only good Survivor players could do that, and he knew he was going. He knew he had to play. Like he knew he had to fess up to his lies. Like I love.
Let's talk about the lies.
Kylie, before we get into that.
We can't get to it. We haven't spoken in weeks. This is amazing.
Andrew Yakos wants to know who has Cody's idol. I think Jesse still.
Right? As far as we know, it's Jesse.
And Jesse has 2 idols, right? Because he has Janine's idol also.
Idols. Jesse probably has 6 other things from 7 people.
Which means Jesse's in the final 4, right? Because if he keeps Cody's, plays it next time, then he can just play the other one at final 5. Because we're at 6 right now.
You can't play an idol at 5, no?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's an order rule.
When you played an idol, so is the last time you could play an idol next week or the week after? Because
I believe the week after. It's always final 5, right?
Interesting.
Yeah. So, all right, let's jump in where this episode kicks off, and that is with Sammy having to go back to camp and where did this other Carla vote come from? And Sammy's like, it was Gabler. What do y'all think about his decision to initially lie about the vote?
I would have lied initially. And honestly, it just is a true sign of what a good player Sammy is, that he took 5 seconds. He's like, this is dumb. If I continue this lie, I'm just going to dig a far bigger, deeper, horribler hole. So I better come, fess up, and hopefully try to build some more relationships and move on. 100% right move. He shouldn't have lied in the first place, but he did. It was a gut reaction. He just swatted that thing away with a lie, and he's like, shit, I didn't actually want to kill the bee. The bees are going extinct. We got to keep it alive.
Okay, so I do have a question. So how many times do people actually get away with lying about their vote?
In this season, nobody shuts their mouth, so 0 times.
Lying about your vote is tough. Well, it's tough because you have to lie and then keep lying. Like that's the hard part, is that once you're lying about your vote, you have to keep it up and you cannot like back down from it. And or at least until the person that you pinned it on is gone. So with that being the case, like I don't think a lot of people get away with it because it's a lot of work and you're out there together for a long time doing nothing. And I don't know how many times I can tell Kylie that I did not vote. I did not write her name down. And then like in 2 hours from now, she's like, so I'm still just trying to figure out these votes. Are you sure you didn't write my name down? Yeah, Kylie, I didn't tell you. Then tomorrow morning, I just can't wrap my mind around it, Kevin. I'm counting the votes. Everyone said they did it. Are you sure? And at that point, I'm like, Kylie, it wasn't me. But like, that's very much a tell. I'm pissed off about it. Like, so.
I just feel like at least in online games, like if I'm on the wrong side of the vote, the first thing I do is go to that person and be like, look, this is what I did and this is why I did it, instead of lying about it. And usually I can like wiggle my way out of a weird situation by not lying about it.
That's what Sammy did, right? Like minus the initial lie.
But hold on though. That's the thing though. Sammy had made it clear that he wanted to work with Carla. So it depends on who you are, right? So like if Gabler had written down the vote for Carla for real, Carla could brush it under the mat. Like it could be water under the bridge. But Sammy trying to cast his lot in with Carla and then to go after Carla, it makes it a lot tougher to be like, oh yeah, it wasn't me.
Well, I mean, I think that's like I've enjoyed watching Sammy like kind of flip flop between the two sides, but at a certain point, you got to kind of pick one and you got to stick there, and you got to kind of go with that ship, whether it's sinking or not. And I think Sammy didn't realize that the ship was sinking just one vote too soon. And
arguably that was the first time and only time this entire game that he didn't fully understand. Right? And the truth is that one move didn't get him that round. It got him the next round. And but yeah.
Was Cassidy ever really going to go here though?
I don't know. Let's get to that in a few minutes when we get because I'm very confused with Carla's decision and what she was thinking. I'd love to. I think we should talk it over.
Yeah, we can get into that. So curious, from the episode, we get not much Gabler, and Karen, you are a Gabler stan, and we hardly got any from him tonight. But we get this one scene of him talking to Owen, saying like, oh gosh, Owen, they told me last minute that, switching on to Noelle. I'm so sorry I had to leave you out of it, but I've got a plan to get us to the final 3. But then we don't hear the plan. And so I am confused as to what the purpose of that scene even was.
I love the fact that Owen was on the wrong side of the vote again.
Wait, was he? Wait, he wasn't this time.
Not tonight. But like in that part right there where he's talking, Gabriel's like, listen, man, they told me last minute, and yeah, they included me in the plan. But not you.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for Owen. Like Owen feels like one of us who plays Survivor, and then goes on the island and has all these dreams and plans and wants to do well, and then around and like it's almost worse that he hasn't been voted out because he just keeps on being knocked down every single time. I felt like that scene of him just like collapsing on that beach was perfect. Like,
and he realizes it too. I mean, he's like, take me to the end because like nobody's going to vote for me. I have no idea what's going on in this game. I have no agency. Do you think there's any scenario where we can see Owen win?
No.
Yes.
Okay. Who does Owen have to sit next to? I think Gabler is one. However, I would make an argument that Gabler deserves way more respect than he gets, but that's a different conversation.
but it's an argument if like I don't think if he continues not knowing what's going on. I think if he turns it on from now, and the fact that he was always at the bottom, but he was never the one that was the vote, and when he was the vote, he won idols. Like I think that's a nice enough argument. I think you could sell something there.
I'm just thinking of who's left, and I don't know if there's anyone Owen can beat.
Owen can't beat anybody. Cassidy, no, the only person Cassidy can beat, in my opinion, is Gabler and Owen. I think if Cassidy is sitting there with Jesse, Carla, or Cody, they beat her.
I don't know.
Carla and Cody need to go next if the other people want to have a chance at winning.
Yeah.
And I think it goes probably Carla, then Jesse, then Cody, then Cassidy, then Gabler, then Owen, but at the same time, it's got to be 3 people there, which means Owen and Gabler can't win.
I think Cassidy's our winner.
We'll get to that, but I don't understand unless we get that 3. I don't understand how we get there.
I think that's how we get there.
Because because I don't think she beats any of the other people.
Although I feel like Cody could make a terrible final tribal speech.
Yeah,
I disagree.
I feel like he'd just be like, "I'm living here."
No, the reason I disagree is because he recognizes that him and Jesse have been steering the ship. If he was oblivious to the fact that they had been steering the ship, I'm with you. But since he speaks about that in this episode,
So what? Let me ask: do one of them have to turn on the other? Like, doesn't Jesse fundamentally have to get rid of Cody ASAP?
No,
Is
no.
that
Cody has to get rid of Jesse.
move?
Cody has to get rid of
Jesse
Jesse.
beats Cody at the end.
Yeah,
if they
Cody has
put
to
it
get rid of
together.
Jesse.
Yes, I think you're right, Kevin.
But Cody needs to get 2 idols back very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I
Guys, I don't know.
don't know either. I don't know.
We don't know who's going to win, and it's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
As fans.
I mean, I felt a lot of hope for Gabler because I thought that Ella Gabler was going to come out tonight and get rid of Jesse, which would have been like the power move and the thing to do. But then that just didn't happen.
He's hiding in plain sight, he said, that no one ever sees him coming because he's the Ella Gabler.
But we had that scene last episode where Gabler's like to Carla, like, look, we have a problem here.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose there's still time to, deal with the problem, but I don't know if Gabler's aware that they're holding on to 2 idols.
I doubt it. But
no.
Does that matter? Like, let's say we have a problem and then the vote is Jesse. It's not like they're going to tell Cody or Jesse. So it's just everybody else that needs to be on board, and Jesse needs to they need to
blind side.
Like it needs to be a full out. Gabler needs to play the perfect part, which might be hard for him, maybe not. I don't know. He was in Vietnam this week for some reason. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that is Carla's winning move. Like, I don't know.
I mean, I'm all for a Carla win here.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at this edit that Jesse is getting. I mean, he's gotten a favorable edit all along. Yep. But then these last 2 weeks, like what they did for him last episode of like setting up his 3-step plan for, like pulling off a blind side. And then, even him talking with Cody tonight where he's like, maybe we need to set up Carla. Like, I'm just having a hard time seeing where Jesse's downfall is going to be, because this seemed like a prime opportunity to take a shot at Jesse tonight.
But isn't that the downfall? Like the fact
nothing's mentioned.
Like, isn't this the Omar edit? Like, we got so much good stuff from Omar and we were all big fans and he was playing the game well, and then boom, we're done. Like I kind of really like Jesse more and more as time goes on. And I'm a little bit afraid that he's going to be chopped next round. I did
went out at 6, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Because I feel like Omar had like a perfect game until it wasn't.
And arguably that was Sammy's game too, by the way. Like Sammy had a perfect game until it wasn't too.
Yeah. All right. Moving on in the episode, though, we get Sammy and Carla having this conversation, and Sammy's trying to get back in her good graces, and he's like, you know what, it's Cassidy, she's the person that brought your name up first. And Sammy's like, oh, you know what, at this point in time, like the only thing I can do is like just kind of sow some evil out here and just see what catches. And I love this, and I love like that game awareness that he has of like, oh shit, I need to like create something because there's too many eyes on me. What do you think about this plan of his to throw Cassidy under the bus? Because it kind of gets some traction.
I think it's beautiful. I mean, to like put people against each other is always, for me, that's always been the best. Like, I know online games aren't always the same, but it's the same idea in general. Put people against each other and they're not looking at you.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. I would not do it. I don't do it when I play online games, and the reason is that it's so easy to get caught. So,
yeah.
So
they do it to themselves. Like, I don't even have to do it. They do it to themselves.
Well, there you go. But like, I don't know if I don't understand how, in truth, she could take a look at that and say, yeah, I really believe that Cassidy threw my name on. Like, I don't know. It just didn't feel like you just spent 20 something days with this person. You did everything. Like, I don't understand how Carla could think Cassidy could do that outside of the fact that they truly are playing Survivor and paranoia is a real thing. So right. I don't know. Like, I wish we would have the true answer.
Well, what's revealed to us and what's the cause of this paranoia is flashback where we've all been giving Carla credit for not telling anyone about her idol. Spoiler alert, she has told somebody. She told Cassidy. And
But
so
everyone
that
wants, right?
yep,
No.
that's where that paranoia is. And she's like, like maybe like I'm putting all of my trust in her, but what if because she knows I have an idol, what if she's got that knife and she's ready to stab it in my back?
Which makes a lot of sense why she would be paranoid and be okay with
But
questioning her.
But you see, I find that in these games, when you play from a place of fear, you're screwed. And this was the first time in this game that I saw Carla play from this place of fear, of, oh my God, she knows this because of that might happen. And it was the first time she lost control. And it is again, for me, a real good reason why you shut your mouth about all idols forever and ever. Don't tell anybody why. There's no good reason. You know what? If you don't tell your ally that you have it and then you use it on them, they won't be upset that you didn't tell them. They'll be happy that you used it on them.
No, I disagree.
Okay.
What?
I disagree.
You disagree?
I used to be on the same page as you guys, but you utilize these things to build trust, and all you have is words. But when you're telling someone about an idol or something, that's an action, and that's showing through your actions that you trust them and that you are legitimate with what you want to do. I've played a lot of online games. I've watched a lot of Survivor, a lot of Big Brother. By sharing these things, it's showing that, hey, I'm not, and the important thing is that you're not telling a bunch of people either, right? Is that you're telling this like one or two people, because it's to build that trust, because you have nothing else. Sure, you could have voting together, but because the games have become so much more fluid, votes don't even matter as much anymore. So like voting together doesn't matter as much anymore to show loyalty and trust, because at any time that could change. Which is why for someone like Carla, like I'm sure she told James and she told Cassidy that she had the idol, because those are her two, and that's what's showing that, hey, we're together. And then I'm sure with this word that Cassidy may be down to have voted her, it makes her go, wait a minute. she's the last person alive that knows I have the secret. I might need to kill her. Because I tried to build the trust there, but if she's decided that she no longer wants to trust me, maybe she's too dangerous.
Evan, isn't that the reason why you don't tell her in the first place?
No, you told her to begin. You told her at the beginning to build the trust. James would have never told anybody, right? James not told anybody. He would have never told about Carla's idol.
Mm-hmm.
He would have never told anyone about Carla's idol, because that was someone she could trust. She felt like that she could trust Cassidy. And so it's just the idea that she was trying to get her makes her go, wait a minute, did I play this wrong with my trust? Like, did I trust the wrong person? But it's like it's how you build trust. And like I said, I used to be with you guys. Don't tell nobody about your stuff. But how else do you develop that trust with somebody unless you got something to share with them?
But isn't the way you do it by voting with them for the last 20 days or whatever it was?
Like I said, that based on how fluid these games are nowadays, no.
I think
I strongly disagree with you. Like, we've had literally 2 secrets in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
One being Marianne's idol and one being Jesse's idol. Right now, where nobody knows those. And that was kind of like this moment that Marianne was able to hang her hat on of like, hey, I had the only secret in the game. I found this idol. And it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out with Jesse and how he uses this idol that he got from Janine or Dwight, and, how it comes to fruition. But to me, having that secret, like that puts an exclamation point on your game.
So this is where I think you're wrong. Is that with Marianne's idol, she got that later, right?
I don't remember.
I think it was like around 7.
Yeah, she got it later in the game. Later in the game, It's more of an individualistic game. When you're fighting like the tribe idol and you're sharing with like 1 or 2 in your tribe, it's that you're trying to build that trust then early in the game. And so I get what you're saying about her secret being later and so her having the idol later in the game. Same thing with this, how Jesse has stumbled upon this idol from Dwight, right? It's those are secrets that you can keep to yourself because it's later in the game. When it's early in the game, that's how you build the trust. When it's late in the game, I'm not trying to build trust anymore. I'm trying to maintain the trust that I already have. I'm not trying to make new friends. I'm trying to keep the friends I already got.
But hopefully early in the game, there's other things you can do to like show and build trust. I feel like an idol is kind of sacred, like in my opinion, that it's nobody else's business ever because 90 to 95% of the time they will use it against you and they will tell other people about it because that's their way of showing trust with someone else. Like, look, oh, I know that Kevin has an idol and I trust you and I'm telling you this. So I feel most of the time it doesn't work to your advantage. Like you may have good intentions by telling someone about your idol, but most of the time it really doesn't work out.
Doesn't that mean that person wasn't trustworthy? You misplaced your trust.
Is anybody trustworthy in Survivor?
Yeah, man. I played online games with like Sheldon, for instance, right? Stuff Sheldon told me, I'm not telling other people because that was legitimate trust.
I can keep secrets in games too, but I feel like on the show it doesn't happen that much, and like I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it does though. I think
there's a stark difference between playing a game like online and playing a game for $1 million, right? Because
can I just say the only time where I will a little bit go to Kevin's side, even though I'm still not fully there, is I think that if I think about all of the relationships in the game, the only relationship where I would probably tell the other person about my idol is the Jesse Cody relationship, because the way they talk to each other, the way they do full out brainstorming, like that is your partner in crime. And in order to do that brainstorming properly, they actually need to have all the information you have. So that might be the only situation when you're in a game with that sort of a relationship. But I never saw that with Cassidy and Carla. Like I don't think they ever had that level. Like it always felt to me like they just kind of said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do it," and Carla said this, and then we did it. Like I'm not sure they had that level of collaboration. So I don't know. We could belabor this forever. I still don't agree with Kevin. Sorry, love you.
I still think we need like a super fan edit on Paramount Plus for Survivor.
Give me an hour and a half, please. Give me an hour.
Yes, please.
Yeah, well, they should
do the regular edit that you air on TV, but for the nerds, like give us a little more, please.
Yep, I'll pay.
All
for
right.
it.
So speaking of advantages, it's day 21. There's a boat coming, and we get a little note delivered. Any advantage at this point in the game is a big one. You got one hidden in the jungle. Go. Excuse that block falling.
I loved this because watching them all run around to find this thing and the camera showing them passing this thing on the tree multiple times. Multiple people multiple times. Even Cody like standing there leaned against it. Like I mean, I just don't know where it's gonna be. And Gabler like, I'm gonna go down to the beach, and he's like, yeah. While we watched Gabler walk past the tree, and then Cody leaning, then looks, yeah, Gabes, yeah.
I mean, this had it looks so obvious, which obviously whenever they are like blaring it to us, like, hey, here it is, dummies. But you know, like it looked like it was sticking out and like flapping in the wind. And so I'm like, what are y'all doing? Yes, the color blended very, very well.
Yeah.
But
one of the things I didn't understand is that how close was that camera guy? Because if the camera guy is standing right there the entire time, shouldn't you go to where the camera guy is and just look at the way he or she is pointing that camera?
Lenses can be very like far away.
So the camera person was far. Okay.
It's possible. It's possible, yes.
But
I mean,
also,
it depends what type of lens you're using.
I'm not watching the camera guy. I'm watching this is not like me. Like if I'm trying to find an actual hidden immunity idol, I'm probably.
What are you talking about? You're not watching the camera guy.
I would watch the camera guy. Like,
let me tell you why. If I'm looking for an actual idol like by myself, yes. And this is a mad dash with 7 people all looking for the same thing. if I'm just trying to watch this dude, someone else can find this while I'm doing this. Especially with them looking in the same effing area. Like, that is the last thing I need. Is for me to have noticed the camera guy, and then when I notice where he's looking, Gabler's already standing there. That is not something that I need to see happening.
I wasn't sure how I felt about this whole thing at first, but all the scenes with it like right by their head, as a viewer, you're like, ah! So it's kind of fun.
I did like the idea of this. I guess I don't fully understand if I like the rules around it. Like when Jeff,
let's talk about that, because I thought it was really interesting.
So basically, what happened was they got to the challenge, and Jeff basically blurts it out.
Wait! Before you get into that, I love the fact that we have different advantages that we have not seen before.
Well, they put a name to it this time. What was it?
The champion. The
name your champ.
Choose your champion or name your champion.
Which means it's here to stay.
I loved it. This pick a champion type challenge. I love this.
I like that it's something immediate. We don't have to worry about if it's still circling through. And
it's low stakes.
Like, honestly, Erica's advantage in 41, like where she got to skip like half of that last challenge, that was so massive. And this is not necessarily on that level, because you do kind of have that not gamble, but you have to make a decision of who you think is going to win. And so there's a chance you can win, there's a chance you may not win, but it's not just completely guaranteed game changing. And so I liked it. And I like the twist of, hey, we're not going to reveal who Cody has chosen, but
I like that.
If he chose correctly and you vote for him, all those votes, you're not going to know if he's immune.
But I like that. What I don't like is Jeff revealing that Cody was the one that got the thing. Like, if Cody kept it to himself, Cody should still be able to keep it to himself. If he's doing anything, I think he should say, there was something, it was found, this is what it is, we'll find out tonight.
No. I like when the cards are up. I like when they play with more cards up. Tell them the structure of the game that they're playing. They all knew that the challenge was there. I like things that are hidden. Don't get me wrong. Stuff being hidden is fine. But this wasn't a hidden advantage. Everyone knew that this advantage was out there. So by saying, stop looking, Cody found it, here's what it is at the challenge, it made it very clear. And then if I'm Cody, whoever wins, I'm like fist pumping, I'm high-fiving them, I'm giving them a big hug. I'm like, fuck yeah, I knew it. I fucking knew it. Whether I picked him or not, I'm overselling it, whether I was right or not. Because when you guys are planning, I want y'all to not be planning about me.
Well, and I mean, that's also the advantage of this is, Cody was immediately off of the table without them even knowing if he correctly predicted who won. And I mean, already like, hey, it's, like if one person wins and you guess that one person 1 out of 6, okay, well, Voce, what is the percentage on that? But spoiler alert, it's not going to be 1 out of 6. He actually got 2 out of 6. And that's
let's not get to that yet. Let's not get to that yet, because I
but
love
this greatly, like, I mean, if you maybe it could have worked out differently whenever there was only one possible person that he could have been right on. But then whenever you throw in that there's 2, like, Cody was off the board.
Yeah. Speaking of 2 being off the board, man, I loved this challenge. This is a classic challenge. I love the fact that they beat the challenge. They beat the game.
Right. They didn't beat the game.
I say leave them there for 12 hours till the next tide comes in.
Yeah. So, can we talk about this? So, a few things. This is actually my absolute favorite Survivor challenge of all time. Whenever it is played, it makes me really, really happy because there's a bit of luck in it. There's a bit of skill. There's endurance. I do not, however, at all agree with the fact that 2 people won just because the tide went down. You want to make this a real freaking challenge? Leave them there overnight. Let the sun set. Let them be freezing, let them suffer, and let the one who actually outlasts win. I did not like what happened. I particularly did not like what happened with the fact that now there are 2 people safe and then Cody's safe. When you have 7 people and you have 3 individual immunities, I think that's insane and it is too much. That's what I think.
2 to 3 idols out there. There's
Yeah.
Listen. You guys are just you guys get on with the times, okay? Shit's different. Shit's a changing.
No.
They're not gonna sit out there for 6 hours with Christian Ubicki again. Okay, they say we're not doing that anymore.
Why?
We don't want to be out here for 6 hours.
This is totally Jeff Probst being like, no,
we're not going to be out here
in my
forever.
room.
Well,
I
that's
got
fine.
shit to
I
do.
don't necessarily need them to stay out there until the tide comes back around.
Oh, I do.
But what I do need is them to say, okay, y'all have beat the challenge and that the tide has now, risen and it
Receded,
is fallen.
yeah.
And here's the next step. This is how we're going to proceed. You are now going to go underwater and you are going to hold your breath until you cannot hold it anymore. And we are going to get a winner. Whatever
Why
it takes.
can't we just
to
have 2
one
fucking
person.
winners, guys?
Because
Jesus.
what is this? Like, here's your
Jesus.
participation trophy. Hell no.
Very
Snowflake,
obviously
you don't want
not.
a fucking
Very
participation
obviously
trophy.
not a participation trophy. It was a you stood out here for 3 fucking hours.
I'm sorry.
Congratulations.
I'm sorry. Kevin, the way the rules of this game work is not at the beginning. There's 2 chances to win. There was 1 chance to win, and
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Fundamentally, I completely disagree with you. I wanted them to suffer until 1 person left. That's what Survivor is. I don't like.
That's what Survivor is.
Yes.
Survivor is a social strategy game. Whatever you have to do to get me back to social strategy, give me that. If you want to throw in a fucking wrinkle by giving 2 people immunity, 3 people immunity to make it a much more difficult social strategy game,
I'm sorry.
do that.
Hold on.
Give me those.
Only a
Okay, that's a fair point, Kevin.
But I don't agree with that point, because if this was really only a social strategy point, never do immunity challenges. Why do
Moderator.
that?
Oh, wait, I'm the moderator. Hey,
Okay, go ahead.
Kevin, what about you wanting the players to know the rules of the game? Well, the rule of the game is you get 1 immunity necklace.
That was the plan. That's
the
plan.
rule of the game.
Playing,
1.
like when they go out there, hold on. No, when we
if
go out there and we say you're
Jeff
playing
tells
for
us beforehand.
I'm going to answer your thing. When we go out there and we play for 2 immunity challenges, immunity titles, we know that. Today, there was something that was unprecedented. If a thing that happens that's unprecedented, you have to be able to change on the fly. And that's what they did. They changed on the fly. They
changed the rules of the actual game as opposed to the
so you're
rules
telling me that if Cassidy thought, oh, damn, if I just waited till the end of the tide, I would have got an immunity necklace too. That would have changed things for her, still getting drowned out and leaving. No, that's the point, is that they went through everything. They watched the water start to recede and the tide stopped coming in. And they're like, well, the point of this challenge was to have this tide wash you out. And it didn't. So instead of sitting out here for 17 hours or until nightfall, like Sheldon wants, we're going to go ahead.
When is the time the tide goes up? In the morning? I don't know how tide works.
I don't
it's
either.
Moon.
But I do have a question. I like, you're a Survivor nerd, Kevin, right? I don't know. Have women ever won this challenge?
Ooh. I think on Australian Survivor, a woman has.
Okay, because when I saw this challenge, my first thought was like, I don't like it because I feel this really favors men with like, I feel it favors whoever has the best anatomy to reach the highest. So it's not really like who does the best or who can hold on the longest, like in my opinion. But also I've never done it, so I don't know. But
Cassidy was one of the last ones out there. Carla won the thing. So
in Caramone, Brenda Lowe won. Caramone.
Okay.
And now Carla and Owen.
Well, no, Carla didn't win. Carla tied for first. All right. So,
yeah.
Anyways, 2 immunity necklaces given out because we give participation trophies here on Survivor 43. And Carla, you are safe. Owen, you are safe.
Listen,
and
give her that participation for you lasted 3 hours. Congrats to you.
And by default, Cody, you're safe too. So we've only got 4 people vulnerable. here we go. Back to camp. It's time to start strategizing. Immediately, Sammy's name's thrown out. He's not trustworthy. He's good at making fire. We should get rid of him. Do y'all think that for the consensus that getting Sammy out at this point is the right direction to head?
I do.
But isn't the right why? Karen, why?
Because like for me personally, like if you've got a person who will go whichever way that is best for their game, they're not anyone you can count on. So nobody in the group can count on them. So I feel it's best to just eliminate that uncertainty.
That's a good argument.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Me, if I was there, I would be doing half of what they tried to do, which was separate Carla and Cassidy. But the other part, and I still do not for the life of me understand why nobody has tried this yet, separate Cody and Jesse.
Yeah, that's also
I don't get it. Why are they untouchable? Why is nobody looking at them?
Gabler was looking at them, and I thought that's what we were getting in this episode. I thought this was in the Ala Gabler comes back and he to Jesse or something.
He's still resting underwater.
This minute is for Cody, who's about to leave.
this minute is for the war vets that are out there.
This is for my grandfather from Vietnam. He taught me how to search the island like this. All right. So
I thought okay, so Carla feels the imminent threat of Cassidy.
Yeah.
So she's like, hey, I'm down to vote Cassidy, which shocks a lot of people, but I mean, I get where she's coming from because like I said, if only one person knows my secret, the best way for nobody to know my secret if I whack that one person that knows my secret.
But I wouldn't be worried that Cassidy walks down and be like, hey guys, don't forget, she has an idol.
No.
I would be terrified.
No.
I think that they say that generally they do not allow that game talk. Like once the votes are read, you can't reveal game information. Yeah. So like that would be a really big no-no, like if she were to do that. But immediately upon hearing Carla tell him, hey, let's get Cassidy, Jesse's like, this is suspicious to me. Like something's not right here. And
I like how it didn't pass the smell test the moment they found that Carla was on board.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, wait, so Sammy wants to get out Cassidy, checks out. Gabriel wants to get out Cassidy, checks out. Owen wants to, cool. Carla, wait a minute, Carla. Then maybe we need to do something else. If Carla's on board with it, we gotta do something else.
Right. Yeah. And I once again like love hearing Jesse talk through his thinking and his mindset and talking to Cody and being like, hey, you know what sounds better than voting Sammy out? Instead of voting Cassidy out, is voting Sammy out and letting Carlo cast that one lone vote. And I wanted to see this come.
Well, I liked it even better because they were like, let's get out Cassidy, then we can take out Sammy next or Carla next. And then Jesse's like, or we just do Sammy now.
Yeah.
I love the fact that Sammy was already in the line and he's just sped up that dude's demise. And I did love the fact that Cody was like, because I know how much you love Cody, Kylie. I love the fact that Cody is pretty much a straight shooter. He's like, look, man, this is the plan. This is the plan. We already have a plan, bro. Let's just go with the plan we already worked out. And they're like, no, let's try something different. And he's like, this is the plan.
Yeah, no, Jesse is more of the villain than Cody is. Like I thought Cody was going to give us the villain, but it's Jesse.
I don't know what happened with Cody because he had personality like 3, 4, 5 weeks ago. Now he's boring. Like what happened to Cody?
He's definitely not boring.
I think we're just not like seeing as much.
Like the same reason we're not seeing as many annoying. We don't see as much annoying Gabler stuff either.
I want him doing weird shit. Let's go.
No, man, we're in the gameplay, Sheldon. We're in the fucking game. We're here.
I want him skipping.
We don't have time for that filler anymore. That's why we don't have any Gable on the screen because all he is filler.
Listen, I looked at my face this morning. I got too much filler. Okay, relax.
Gabler is pure gold.
Golden Gable.
Fool's gold.
Well, we're about to find out because I thought this was going to be the week that he was going to bring it home, but apparently we have to wait, or maybe I'm just going to be very disappointed this season.
Because Gabler's like, I don't like this Jesse situation. And I thought, okay, maybe Jesse's now on the table too.
Yeah.
But no one, it didn't really get any traction.
No, nothing there.
So there was nothing there.
Taken.
So we get the tribal.
So time for tribal council. And this was kind of like a big nothing burger. But was it a big nothing burger?
Nothing burger. Not at all. Oh my God.
I said, but was it? So we get this once again brilliant move by Sammy, where Sammy's like, you know what? If things are going to go down the way everybody says they're going to go down, y'all don't need my vote anyways. Y'all got enough. I'm going to play my shot in the dark. And I was like, yes, I love this. I feel like this is the first time the shot in the dark has been used strategically.
Yeah. It has been. I mean, to be fair, though, relax. To be fair, the first 2 seasons, they had just heard of this mechanic. So they did not use it strategically because no one had time to think about what a strategic way to use it. You just heard about it and just threw it out there. But this time they said, hey, this is a chance for us. Sammy said, this is a chance for me to try to be safe because I don't necessarily trust what's going on. The vibes don't smell right. But if everyone's telling me the truth, y'all wouldn't be too concerned about me playing this shot in the dark right now, would you?
Well, what I don't understand, though, is there any possibility that they flipped at him after that happened?
That's what I was going to say, because we get this really big reaction from Carla.
Jesse.
Where they're both like, no.
No. A second ago, I was voting out Cassidy is what I sort of got, and now I'm voting you out.
Yeah, like...
I don't believe that they ever had any other intention, though. And I don't know. I feel like it was a bunch of BS being like, oh, well, if you don't trust us, then no.
I'm with Karen. Because we didn't see anyone get up. There was no live tribal. No one was whispering.
And I was waiting for it. I was like, this is it. We're finally going to get another live tribal. I know that a lot of people aren't big fans of them, but I am. I love it. I like to see stuff shifting. I want it to be explained later, but I'm okay with in the moment things happening. And so I was like, get up out of your seat, Jesse. Get up out of your seat, Carla.
That means the plan was already locked in. And look at Gaba Gabler saying, nope, this doesn't change the plan for me at all. Like, this guy.
Stick with the plan.
Which I totally agree about not playing around the shot in the dark. Like, I think in some seasons in the past few seasons, we've seen people like, we got to think about the shot in the dark. And just no, it's 1 in 6 chance. Do your thing, and if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. But don't play your game around a 16% chance.
We talked about earlier about throwing your vote. I think in this one I might have thrown my vote on Cassidy just in case.
Which I think that's fair in this case because everybody voted for Sammy, right?
Yeah, but if I'm like Jesse,
it's okay.
If I'm Jesse, I'm throwing it on, and the reason I'm throwing it on, Cassidy is because if the shot in the dark works, Cassidy goes home. But on top of that, blame it on Carla. Because at this point, Carla has been clear that Carla was cool with voting for Cassidy. Mm-hmm. And as far as everyone, quote unquote, knew, Carla was voting for Cassidy. So if one vote comes out and it's for Cassidy, then it is what it is. Now, if 2 votes come out and they're for Cassidy, you have some explaining to do. But if there's only 1 vote, as far as everyone knows, exactly. As far as everyone knows, Carla.
You can have a coordinated lie though, like 3 people will be like, it was Carla.
Well, that's the best part about the lie, Karen, is that it doesn't have to be coordinated. Everyone already knew that Carla said it, so Jesse doing it on his own, the coordination's already there without you having to set everybody up. So everyone, when they're telling Cassidy, they're telling the truth, and because as far as they knew, they're not lying at all. And
now I wish Jesse would have voted Cassidy.
Yes, absolutely. I wish he would have. That would have been just the icing on the cake for me.
One of my favorite parts, and I didn't get to watch all of it because I ran to do this podcast, was just what a gentleman Sammy was as he left. Just so grateful, happy. He wasn't upset. He's like, yeah, the game got me. Good job. Like, I love when people don't leave upset and angry and bitter. Like, it's just classy. I love it. And for a 19-year-old kid, like, come on.
They told them when they come to Vegas, hit them up. Probably in a year, I'm gonna probably find the dude and offer to buy him a beer.
He can't. I'm sure he's not old enough to buy beer. Or
like I just said,
just
in a year. I just said in a year. He's probably 20 now.
All right, so here's a question.
Yeah.
We've seen two fairly young guys in Sammy and Xander both do pretty successfully in the last couple seasons. Who are we more likely to see back?
Sammy.
Sammy for sure.
Sammy.
Yeah, I want to see Sammy again.
Yeah. I feel like Sammy is more aware because based on the edit, I feel that Xander had a winning game, but Xander wasn't aware that he had a winning game, which like totally negated everything.
Yeah.
I forgot about Xander. Another thing about Xander, though, I mean, he's dating Andrea Belke, so we might see Xander.
Ooh, blood versus water?
Oh,
Probably not.
Please no.
Probably not, because blood versus water was like, blood versus water was the person that played and the person that didn't play. They both played.
Well, no, we've had blood versus water with two playing.
Who?
Oh, isn't Andrea Belke like in her 30s?
Just kidding.
She is. She's
older
older than me, I think.
Stop, Sheldon, stop age shaming.
What's wrong with
Stop
age shaming?
Age shaming.
Yeah, we're not doing that here.
Let people love who they love, Sheldon.
He's a
love
kid.
Is love.
What are they?
Love is love. He's an adult. Love is love, Sheldon.
Okay, that's not what you told me about some other things a few months ago.
Ooh, okay.
Love is love.
Well, I thought this was a fun episode. I am excited for the end game because I feel like we've got three really, really. I think there's three people here that can make it a very satisfying win. Sorry, Karen. Gabler's not one of them for me.
Ooh,
and
I will say, I'm sorry, y'all hate Gabler except for Karen. I actually have really enjoyed watching Gabler. I actually think he has a far better chance of winning than any of you think, including you, Karen. Like, I think that modern Survivor, a player like Gabler has a far higher chance of winning than old school Survivor. Like,
I just don't want it to happen.
Why not?
If you don't speak it can't come.
Why not? It can happen. It'll be fun. It's just entertainment. It's
not fun.
I'm all about that final tribal speech, and I feel like Gabler could potentially have a winning game here, but the problem with Gabler is he's like slightly, maybe I don't know, more than slightly socially unaware. So like to get to final tribal and be socially unaware is a hard game to sell.
So guys, I came here. I was like the father figure. I covered them up with the leaf to keep them warm.
That's what I did each of these 29 days for one for my daughter, two for my dog.
The thing is, I think Xander had a winning game. I think Mike had a winning game, but their final tribal, they didn't even realize that they had winning games.
Xander did not. Xander did not. Mike did. Mike had a good shot going in. Xander
I'm opposite of you.
I feel they both had the winning games, but I don't know. They didn't.
Xander was drawing
dead.
They
didn't realize it.
Nobody cared about his idol. Nobody cared about the stuff.
I think Xander was screwed before he ever got to final. I think Mike lost some votes.
Yeah, Mike lost some votes because he was talking about how loyal he was, and then he ran into a buzzsaw named Marianne.
Yeah. No, I think Mike more so than Xander, because I think there's things I think the edit favored Xander in ways that we didn't see.
The Xander issue was not the edit favored him, but
yes,
it seemed that he didn't actually play a good social game.
Yeah, nobody cared about him on the island.
That.
Which you don't become a 0 vote finalist, in my opinion, if you had a decent social game.
Yeah.
But also he was like 20, right?
Yeah, but
like,
I mean, even
I
his
don't
age,
take kids seriously personally.
Sammy's 19. Will Wall is 19. Like it's not just because they're like young. Like
so
Xander just didn't know what he was doing.
Karen said he's 20 and I don't take him seriously. Why is she not the ageist? Why am I the only one being beat down about this?
Because you're judging their relationship.
I'm completely judging their relationship. What do they have to talk about? She has a career. He hasn't even slipped the first woman. Like I don't know.
Listen, CD Max says that he thinks either Gabler or Cody is the winner of this season. I don't see the Gabler at all personally either. But
I can see a Gabler win, but I also like we said, I don't know who he's sitting next to where he would win.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
I know, Kylie, you want to go to bed. You have to take the puppy out. I want to rewind 2 episodes. I still do not, for the life of me, understand why they got rid of Ryan. Like, I think Ryan was an easy person to keep around because this is a man who has no chance.
I can't remember who all was in that split tribal. So
Ryan's a type that you cannot convince to do a strategic thing. Like, he has his own opinions and his own loyalties. Like, you can't align with Ryan and be like, this is the right move right now, and count on him to execute it.
Fine, but I'm sort of thinking final 3, every single buddy. Gabler beats
Nobody's voting for Ryan in the final 3. He's the perfect go.
And then he left with the fish in his bag. What's he going to do with the fish in his bag?
Toss it.
Anyways.
Yeah. All right. So we got 6 people left. Who's winning?
6 people left, and we have 3 idols left.
Kevin says Carla. Sheldon, who's winning?
Gabler.
Karen, who's winning? Who, Karen?
Cassidy. Which I feel like I identify with Cassidy the most, even though I think she's a little boring. But I feel if I was on the show, I'd be also a little boring. But I also think I could
I think she was. This was the first episode tonight that I actually felt like she was kind of interesting because it was a new person playing her again. I don't know. It was great.
I mean, I feel she's been there the whole time and she's doing all the right things. And I feel, I don't know, maybe
I want it to be Jessie, so that's what I'm gonna say.
That would be beautiful too. I would love a Jessie win.
Yeah,
but I think we're getting a Cassidy.
I kind of am afraid it's gonna be Cassidy. All right, so I thought this was fun episode.
Yeah, man.
I'm excited. I know not everybody is super high on this season, but I'm still enjoying it. All Survivors
this season. There's some really characters. There's some villainy who is trying to come out, but Survivor doesn't want it to come out. There's a lot going on here. Give me more Survivor.
We still have the alligator who's about to come out.
We don't have the alligator. Karen, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Hold on. Who's better, alligator or Cody the crocodile?
Cody the crocodile. Cody the croc. Play the croc. Karen, thank you for joining us. I hope you can join us again in the future.
Yes.
Kylie, where can the people find you on the internets?
Here.
Right there. You can find me at KG Fury on most places. Sheldon is only here in his home. So, there's that. Thank you guys for joining us in the chat.
Can we
we'll
follow
be back.
Karen, can we follow you somewhere?
I haven't decided yet if I want
all right, cool.
Who I am or not.
Not a problem at all. Thank you for joining us. And next week we should be back, sometime. Maybe. We'll see what happens.
I got a lot to say.
We'll be back next week.
Probably we'll be back.
And then we have the finale episode the week after.
Holy mother.
Oh.
This thing is coming to an
only
end.
2 more episodes?
Yep, then they're gonna land the plane.
Oh my god. What if Survivor would be on a plane?
Wow.
All right, guys. With that, thank you for joining us. Kylie, wrap us up. Let's get us out of here.
All right. We will see you guys next time. Bye, y'all.
Bye.